Every week at Shelton Infant School is exciting, but this week has been one of the most exciting weeks I think ever because a time machine landed on the playground. The time machine was constructed by a creative practitioner with whom the school regularly works called Tarn Drake. And Tarn came into school and constructed the time machine on the middle of the playground last Sunday. And then on Monday morning, when all the children and their parents arrived, there was great astonishment as they saw the time machine standing there in the middle of the playground. When we spoke with Tom, we asked him to make the time machine as interactive as possible, and the children quickly interacted with it. It was got lots of clocks on, all showing different times, all working, compasses, cameras, tubes, rocket boosters, and the children quickly interpreted it to be a time machine. Some of the children were a little bit wary of the machine, and throughout the day each class went out and they got used to the time machine and interacted with it. Many children wrote letters to the time travellers who they believed were inside the machine and posted them in the special letterbox on the side of the machine marked past, present and future. Probably the most exciting day of the week was Tuesday morning. We told the children the previous day that CCTV had been installed in the school to monitor the time machine overnight. And we were partway through an assembly when Tarn, our creative practitioner, burst into the assembly holding a DVD saying that something very strange and exciting had happened overnight.
Just listen, this is more important than singing.
We played the film to the children and it depicted in quite grainy black and white CCTV style footage the door of the time machine opening and a person emerging who the children immediately interpreted to be a time traveller, and they watched in awe as the time traveller walked across the playground and into the school and visited each classroom in the school. The time traveller was carrying a box, and when the children left the assembly very excitedly, when they got back to their classrooms, there was an identical box in each classroom, and the box contained different items pertaining to the age which the children were studying.
What? I wasn't there. Didn't you not see that this morning? No. Wait a minute. Go slow to make sure it's safe. Come in carefully. I think the best thing to do, let's maybe just sit around. Don't come too close. We don't know if it's safe. I'm going to put it right into the middle.
It could be a trap.
I'm going to be very careful. I came back to class and we found a box, which was a mystery box, which had been left by the time travelling visitors. And we very carefully opened the box, and the children were absolutely enraptured by the whole process. And revealed some new items, mystery items that were held within it, which included some real-life bullets and an very old-looking horseshoe and some medals. And we had the discussion about what they might have come from, what they might be for, who they might belong to. The children used that stimulus to create and write some really interesting questions that they wanted to ask the time travellers. And it was linked in really well with our history and English as a cross-curricular process.
When we first started planning the week, we thought that a spaceship would really engage the children. But as we got more into planning the week, we then decided on a time machine because that gave us much more flexibility and much more flexibility for the teachers. Year 2 children have been studying the future, and they've been interacting with the time travellers as though they came from the future, with a particular focus on protecting endangered animals.
In our class this week, Tarn's come in and he's been teaching the children how to draw endangered species, which has been wonderful. The children have really focused on the proportion of the animals, the shapes they can see in them, the size of them, and also looking at shading. So they've learned a lot of skills this week.
Tail? Where's his
I
tail?
think the highlight this week has just been the wow factor of seeing a great big time machine on the playground and looking at all the detail on it, because they've got so into, oh, a new clock has appeared, or the writing on it. It's really captured their imaginations.
The other thing is, you can't his face. Oh, that's good,
Foundation stage pupils have been studying buildings that have been constructed in the past. So it's enabled the teachers to address a variety of learning objectives across all curriculum areas and all subjects.
In reception, we took the line that the children were going to find messages in the box because the time travellers had seen buildings being built in the past. So they'd seen the Eiffel Tower being built, they'd seen the Great Wall of China being built, and they'd seen Tower Bridge being built. And each day we took a different theme, so we took towers, bridges and walls, and they've been doing some amazing construction work with those things.
You post them through...
A letterbox.
Although our nursery is a separate building to the school, the nursery children have been fully engaged in the project. Although the time machine wasn't on their playground, we constructed a trail of items which the children believed had dropped off the time machine as it flew over the sky and landed on the playground. And there was great excitement when the nursery children followed the trail of items round the paths leading to the time machine on the playground, and they found the items as they went along, many covered in silver space time travel dust.
Every time we've been doing building challenges, the time travellers have left us a box each day with a challenge in. The first challenge was to build towers, so Tarn's worked with the children to build tall towers. He's mainly focused on team building skills with the children, trying to get them to work together. They've also built walls. We built a Great Wall of China from the nursery down to class 3. We worked with the other classes to do that as well.
The excitement continued on the Wednesday when the children arrived on the playground again, and in addition to the time machine, there were 2 time travellers on the playground.
Kick off now.
Oh, richness. Oh my goodness.
But inside the machine it's quite dark, because when we're travelling around so much, we have to do a lot of sleeping.
The children initially were a little bit unsure of the time travellers arriving in school. This was, I suppose, because they'd never seen them before, they didn't recognise who they were, and children are often wary of strangers, as we often tell them to be wary of strangers. However, they realised that they were friendly and that they were approachable, and the time travellers managed to explain to them why they were here and that it was a positive reason that they were wanting to talk to people who are in the year 2016, so that they could then have impact in the future to try and protect animals.
I observed some of those sessions and the children were absolutely and totally hooked. For instance, in a year 2 class, the children just listened in awe as the time travellers explained that they'd visited our school many times previously, but it had always been in the past. And the last time they'd visited the school, there were dinosaurs roaming on the land and there was no school here whatsoever.
Action.
Pupils have also worked with filmmakers to record their experiences, which has given the children a taste of something that we've never been able to offer them before, and it also addresses many aspects of the new computing curriculum.
When I got to school on Monday morning, I saw a big black time machine in the middle of the playground.
Did you think it was a time machine straight away?
Not really.
What did you think it might be?
It might have been a sort of car from the future. It might have been a sort of plane, sort of helicopter.
On Tuesday, when we were singing in the hall, Tom charged into the hall and said, "Shut up," to our teacher, Mr Leigh. Well, our head teacher. And because he had a round, shiny DVD in his hand from what the CCTV had recorded.
Now you need to be careful, and also you need to show
The Make, Do, Amend is about looking at ways of reusing clothing. In the wartime they would have repurposed clothes, but as children are really not old enough yet to use sewing machines independently, we have to limit the amount of sewing that's done. So we give them the rules that they can only use clothing in a way that wasn't intended, so they can use tops as trousers and trousers as jackets.
That's culminated in a really super fashion show, a Make, Do, Amend fashion show that all the children attended in the hall. Impact of the week actually has been lots and lots of high quality speaking and listening opportunities, links right across the curriculum, so a very cross-curricular approach, and some really high quality writing produced by children across the school. Some boy writers in the reception classes, who usually are quite reluctant to write, are actually picking up pens without any prompting. They're picking them up of their own volition and writing about the time machine and writing letters to the time travellers. And the beauty of it is that once they've posted the letters, then they always get letters from the time travellers, so you've created thereby a dialogue. We do at Shelton Infant School try to take a really creative approach to the curriculum, to engage children in the learning, really to immerse them so they don't realise that they are learning, which encapsulates the aims of the school, which are very simple: achieve well, aim high and have fun. And this week I think the children, they've all aimed high, they've all achieved well, and from looking in at the classrooms throughout the week and on the playground, they certainly have had a lot of fun.